So now we will start on the optimization of the heat exchanger network. So once we finalize our heat exchanger network using the problem table algorithm, we need to find out whether our design is optimized or not. So optimization is trade-off between your capital cost and operating cost. If you want to further reduce the number of heat exchangers of the utilities and the equipment, then we have to perform the optimization. So whenever we perform the optimization, we ignore the pinch. If you remember the 3 golden rules that we have followed for heat exchanger networking. So during the optimization, we break these rules and we ignore the pinch and we transfer the heat across the pinch. So when we do this, the heat duties for the heat exchangers or the utilities may increase, decrease, or the units may be completely removed from the network. So in order to perform optimization studies, we need to first identify the heat loops. So heat loops are the path that begins and ends at the same point. For example, this is one complete loop. This one heat exchanger and this heat exchanger. When you join them, you start from one point, you end at one point. Similarly, you can find other heat loops within your network. The second one will be the utility path. The utility path is the path that connects your hot utility and the cold utility. So your cold utility is here, your hot utility is here. You need to see the path that connects these two utilities. So you can connect the two utilities through this heat exchanger. So now how many loops you can identify in this? Okay, so the one with the dotted line is shown one loop. You start at one point, go here, here, then this connects here, this connects here, and then we come back to the same. So this is, so you can see another loop will be from here and this. This two heat exchanger forms another loop. Okay. So let us look into this heat exchanger network design. So this heat exchanger network design is generated using our problem table algorithm. So to perform the optimization, we need to first write all the duties of heater, coolers, and heat exchangers, and also the stream temperatures, the inlet and exit from each utility and the heat exchangers. If you don't know the values for streams, you can just calculate by using the formula to MCP delta. Okay. So now you identify how many heat loops you have here. So this is one heat loop. This is the second heat loop. And this another heat loop. So what we are going to do now is when we optimize, we have to reduce the number of units. So we take the loop and we remove that one of the heat exchanger within the loop. So for example, we have this loop. So this heat exchanger has what? This one has 120 kilo. So we can remove the one heat exchanger which is only 40 kilowatt. So it means we don't want to invest on a small heat exchanger which is only 40 kilowatt, and then we are spending a lot of money on maintenance and other things, and it also acquires the space in your plant. So the smaller heat duty heat exchanger, we can just remove it from our network. So once we remove the heat exchanger, this 40 kilowatt, we have to distribute the heat within the loop. So it means this 40 is already been removed. So now we have to add this extra load on the other heat exchanger within the loop. So I'm going to add plus 40 to this and plus 40 to this, both on hot on the and the cold stream. So now this becomes your simplified network. With this will be total of 160 kilowatt. You should also note heat duty. The temperatures of the stream will also change. So calculate the temperature of the stream using Q equals to mCp delta T. So we go to the next loop. So within this, the smallest heat load is 60 compared to 80. So we remove the heat exchanger from the network and distribute the heat to other within the loop. So we add plus 60. And then we have the revised heat exchanger network with 140 kilowatt. And again, you calculate the temperatures of the stream. So for example, here it was 140, so it becomes 160. Your source temperature and your target temperatures will not change because those are the temperatures coming from your processes. So those temperatures are not affected. Only in between the connecting between your exchangers and the utilities temperature will change. Last on, move to the third loop. Identify which has the smaller duty. 120, 140, 160, 140. Smallest is 120, so we remove this. So now this one you need to remember how are you going to distribute this within the loop. So this 120 minus off. So this is connected to this exchanger. So I'm going to add plus 120 here. So this is the same heat exchanger. If this is 120, the bottom also, cold stream also will be plus 120. If you're adding plus 120, you need to balance it with the next connection. So that is negative 120. If this is negative 120, the hot stream also negative 120. We again balance. If this is negative, then this becomes positive 120. This also becomes positive 120. So this is how you distribute the heat among the loop. So now this shows your revised heat exchanger network. So this is 140 minus 120 is 20. Again, calculate all the temperatures of the streams. So now you have to check whether the delta T minimum is still valid or not. Okay, so you need to check for the violation between the hot and the cold stream. So now, if you look at the utility path, this is your heat exchanger. Sorry, this is your heater that connects through this heat exchanger and connects to the cold utility. So the heat exchanger, heater and the cooler, between those hot and the cold stream, the delta T has 10 degrees Celsius that we have set in the beginning. But now if you see, the temperature here is 150. The temperature of this stream is 153.33. So the difference is not 10 degrees Celsius. So what we're supposed to do, we have to restore back the delta T minimum. So for that, we have to reduce the temperature of this to say 140. So that we have 150 minus 140 Celsius difference. So when we reduce the temperature, again the heat duties connected within the path will change. So negative X, positive X. So it means whenever we reduce the value of X, the heat duty for the heat exchanger, it has to be balanced by your utilities. If you subtract, you will add plus X value of the heat duty here. So it's up to you. You can also write plus X minus. So when you calculate the values, you just add in there. So now how to calculate the value of X? So the value of X is calculated by using Q equals to MCP delta T. So now what is your Q? Your Q is 280 minus X equals to CP. Your CP of this stream is 3. What is your delta T? So it is 140 and then this is 60 degrees Celsius. So then you can calculate the value of X. Okay, and so that X you just add in here and to your Coulomb. Then you get your revised exchanger network. So now when we optimize the network, we minimize the number of heat exchangers. Okay, or we may completely remove them from the network. So now we are also reducing the cost of the heat exchanger. Capital cost, the equipment cost is also reduced. But then this has to be compensated loads. So initially we had less load on hot and cold utility. Now they slightly increase. So it is a compromise, or it's a trade-off between the utility cost or the equipment cost. So that is all about the heat exchanger network. Thank you very much.